Welcome back to Fantasy Football by Committee, powered by Flurry Sports. It can be tough to win a fantasy league on your own, but at FFBC, we will work together to bring home the hardware. Hosted by Zach Brunner and the rest of the Flurry Sports crew, we will give top-level analysis, answer your questions, and, well, go off on other tangents.
That was after I tried to get ChatGPT to admit that 9/11 was an inside job, but it stood firm. It gave quite a few solid points that it was true.
Welcome to Fantasy Football by Committee. The show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Let's talk about Keaton Mitchell. I got a lot of shit last week because I said I wouldn't really pick up Keaton Mitchell in a redraft league. It didn't really make a lot of sense to me unless it's a 16-team league. Love his talent. Like, he's a great player. Said this time and time again. Said he was already on my dynasty roster before that. Said I even had him in Madden on my franchise roster. I love Keaton Mitchell. He is not someone who came out of the blue for me. That's why maybe some of these fantasy analysts were taken by surprise. They're like, oh my God, who's this guy? He's so good. We got to play him. Like, he's been on my radar. He's been on your guys' radar because you've been listening to me, watching the show, listening to the show. But Keaton Mitchell explodes, right, in that blowout. 138 yards. I understand he got some carries in the second quarter, whatever. He didn't do anything until it was a blowout, and he still didn't have that many snaps, right? 18% of the snaps, who gives a fuck? I said I'm not really playing him. I said, he's probably a 5-touch guy. And then I have people sliding into my DMs after his performance this week. What do you think about Keaton Mitchell now? And I'll tell you, I overestimated his role. I said he was going to get 5 touches. He got 4. If he can continue to average 30 yards per touch, I'll eat my words. But 3 carries for 38 yards, or 3 carries for 34 yards and a touchdown, a catch for 32 yards. Again, he looked good out there. But what's his role? His role's not very big. He's not the early down guy. He's not the short yardage guy. He's not the 2-minute guy. So I don't know what he is. I'm not sure what you're picking him up for. He's a handcuff. If he's worth it as a handcuff on your team, sure. And will his role grow? Probably. Why wouldn't it? Going into the end of the season, the Ravens, if they can pick up a win this next week, especially over the Bengals, that's obviously a massive, massive, massive game in terms of the division. If they can pick up that win and then can mix in people the rest of the way to keep people fresh, sure, Keaton Mitchell may have a relatively not big role. Like, he's going to have a larger role. But then also, so you're picking him up. He doesn't have a big role whatsoever. 4 touches this past week. Congratulations. He has a tougher matchup against the Bengals. Then he has an okay matchup against the Chargers. And then he has a bye week in week 13. So you're already sitting him again. I can't imagine you're starting him now anyway. He's a handcuff. That's fine. If you have room on your bench for a handcuff, by all means, go ahead. I think there's a better handcuff out there I'll talk about maybe a little bit later. But love Keaton Mitchell. Not sure if he belongs on your redraft league roster. He's owned in 49% of rosters on Sleeper Fantasy. Maybe go look, but I don't think you need to freak out. I certainly don't think you need to overbid. Do what you got to do, but I'm personally avoiding Keaton Mitchell in redraft. I'm fine letting somebody else pick him up and waste a roster spot at this point.